Hey everybody, Mike here with the second edition of Making Sense of Transformers, a series where I talk about the various topics within the Transformers cinematic universe that need a little extra analysis and explanation. Transformers The Last Knight brought about a lot of questions thanks to plots involving the secret history of Transformers, Knights, Quintessa, Unicron, and more. A lot of them just led us to scratch our heads in confusion, including the appearance of Megatron. How was he there? Last time we saw him, he was actually Galvatron. Well, while I'm sure the writers just expected us to gloss over it and stuff our faces with popcorn, we're going to do the opposite and figure out how Galvatron ended up transforming back into Megatron. So Megatron just appears randomly at the start of Transformers The Last Knight with absolutely no explanation. On top of that, we later see him transform without using the strange Transformium transformation, which was heavily present during Age of Extinction. Without knowing ahead of time that Megatron would be back to his typical self before seeing the film for the first time, it would be extremely confusing. But there are some clues pointing toward how this transition took place. Our first clue comes in the form of Optimus Prime's journey to Cybertron. At the end of Age of Extinction, we see Optimus jet off into space in search of the creators with the seed in hand. Another thing that the writers glossed over was the fact that supposedly there were multiple creators, but we'll save that for another video.
Well, it's in the script. Take it up with the writer, not me.
Must have been a typo.
So anyway, long story short is that Optimus landed on Cybertron, met Quintessa, the supposed creator, and she brainwashed him into becoming Nemesis Prime. Part of that process included her giving him a good slap across the face, which turned half of his face the color red. When we first see Megatron while he is talking to Barricade in Chicago, Megatron's face has a very similar red marking. We can make the assumption that sometime between the events of Age of Extinction and The Last Knight, Megatron paid a similar visit to Quintessa. This is further backed up by Megatron knowing about the Staff of Merlin, which he would have no knowledge of without talking to her. This of course brings about some more questions though, like how did Megatron know to visit Quintessa, and how did Megatron travel to and from Cybertron before Optimus even got there in the first place? Let's tackle how he knew to visit Quintessa first. Before the events of Age of Extinction, the creators seemed to be more of a myth that was solidified with the knowledge the seeds existed. During Age of Extinction, Megatron was technically conscious inside the KSI lab and was able to spy on everything going on, most likely leading to him learning about the deal Harold Adinger had with Lockdown for one of the seeds. Brains later said that it was Megatron's plan to trick KSI into building him a new body in the form of Galvatron so that he could claim the seed.
He's been playing KSI all this time, all so that he can manipulate him into going after the seed.
That means Megatron knows the seeds come from the creators, which probably led him to seek them out after the Hong Kong battle. So that's how Megatron knew about the creators and or Quintessa, so how did he make it to her first? When Optimus took off right after defeating Lockdown, he really didn't have a game plan. He was simply going to try to find the creators, possibly leading him to drifting in space for a long period of time, as we saw at the beginning of The Last Knight. By the time he reaches Cybertron, it had been around 2 to 3 years since he left Earth. Long enough to form the TRF and build Transformer jails,
Free at last! Thank Megatron, I'm free at last!
but short enough that Tessa is still in college. Unless she went to med school, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
2 more weeks, girls, till no more classes ever. Almost time to get a tan and get wasted.
If Megatron actually made a game plan for his trip to see Quintessa, he could have actually made it there quicker and arrive back at Earth at the very beginning of The Last Knight. Chicago was a hot zone for Transformers crashing on Earth, so Megatron could have very well been one of them. Also remember that Cybertron was continuously moving toward Earth the entire time, shortening the trip if he ended up traveling later. As for the actual transition from Galvatron to Megatron, Quintessa is supposedly the creator of Transformers, so it isn't a far-fetched to say she reformatted Megatron into a more Cybertronian-styled form, returning Megatron back to his former glory. I hope you all enjoyed this second edition of Making Sense of Transformers. Just like before, if you have another topic you'd like to see me tackle, leave a comment below, and also make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more Transformers related content. Signing out, I'm Mike. See you next time.